I can't lie. I'm a little bit worried about Chelsea this season because let's be honest, they're good. They're on track. They're making progress. This is the expected points compared to actual points when you look at position in the table. And Chelsea's underlying numbers would put them second in the Premier League table. They're currently in fourth, which is a really good start from Chelsea because they've had to play the likes of Manchester City and have some difficult games. And you can see here, Liverpool are first. They're expected to be first. Chelsea are fourth. They're expected to be second. City second. They're expected to be third. And expected position is calculated basically on sort of XG and stuff like that for expected points, which is showing, Chelsea are fourth, but they deserve to be in the top four because their performances have warranted that. Now, I think Chelsea definitely have some vulnerabilities defensively, but I think as a team, you can see the progress, you can see the patterns of play, you can see that they look a lot better going forward. And the job that Maresca's done in such a short time, I think, is a really, really good job. As a Manchester United fan, I predicted Man United to finish above Chelsea this season. I was like, we've had a better transfer window. Ten Hag's been here 3 years. Maresca's going to need time to adapt. And maybe it's a new manager bounce for Maresca, but I'm worried right now that Chelsea are going to finish comfortably ahead of us. And that worries me because, at least it was Man United and Chelsea as the banter teams. Now Chelsea fans are feeling sorry for us. And you guys, you guys have had it rough the last few years. But I think Chelsea deserves to be fourth. I think you've been really good. And even in the game you lost versus Manchester City, I do think you put quite a good performance in where I could see, this looks good. I can see Maresca make subs. I can see Maresca make adaptations. And look, I'm not saying that Chelsea are going to win the title. I'm not saying that Chelsea's going to be in a title race. I think that would be completely unrealistic to say that. I think any Chelsea fan that expects them to be challenging for the title this year is, maybe they will, but it's unrealistic. But I think if you went back to the beginning of August, start of the season, when Chelsea were in pre-season, and you said that Chelsea would comfortably get top four this season, I think every Chelsea fan would be absolutely set, be like, yes, that would be a good season. Maresca coming in, top four, that gets it done in his first season. That would be an unbelievable season for Maresca. And I think right now Chelsea will get top four if things continue. Because look, they're not going to win every game. They're not in a title race. You did drop points to Forest. You did drop points to Crystal Palace. Although, how did you drop points to Crystal Palace? I'll never know. Eze scores a phenomenal goal. And you probably did enough to win that game 3-0. But you dropped points to Crystal Palace. Nottingham Forest was a difficult game. They took points off Liverpool. But if you look at a team that's probably going to finish in the top four, I'm seeing that from Chelsea. I'm seeing progress under the new manager. I'm seeing a team well on track to finish in the top four. And I'm seeing a team that scores goals. 5 versus Barrow, 4 versus Ghent, 6 versus Wolves, 3 versus West Ham, 4 versus Brighton. I mean, Cole Palmer, man. We'll talk about him on another level. But I think Chelsea are good. And I think there is a few Chelsea fans I've come across, a very small percentage of them that aren't happy. But I think, considering where you've been the last 18 months since you sacked Thomas Tuchel, I think this is the best that Chelsea have been. And I think when I watch Chelsea play, it's not that you're getting results, but you also got a system, you've got a style in place. Like, Chelsea are showing more in these opening 7 games under Maresca than I've seen under Ten Hag in 3 years as a United fan. And that hurts to say. But I am seeing systems, I'm seeing improvement, I'm seeing a lot. Because one of the things I've seen is in profiling players correctly, which is something I've been so critical of as a Man United fan, on Ten Hag misprofiling our players. Maresca is profiling players correctly. Pochettino had a period where I think Levi Colwill was left back, and who was right back? Was he playing like Disassi or someone at right back? He was playing someone that wasn't a natural right back at right back. And obviously there was injuries, so we had to do that. But Levi Colwill is a centre-back, and he's a centre-back that's phenomenal on the ball. And I think the improvements in Levi Colwill this season has been brilliant. And if you know me, I've always rated Levi Colwill. I said back in May I would take Levi Colwill at Man United as a left centre-back. And I got a stick from that from United fans saying, Levi Colwill is not that good. Like, he wouldn't improve us. That's what Man United fans said to me. And I said, nah, I watched Levi Colwill at Brighton. I know he's being misprofiled at Chelsea under Poch, being played to play left back. I said back in May, and people gave me stick for this. And I didn't think it was an unpopular take, but it was. When I said I'd take Levi Colwill at United back in May, I think everyone's waking up and being like, no, that is a good player. I mean, he was a good player at Brighton. He's always been a good player, and he's very aesthetically pleasing on the ball. When it comes to a centre-back with the ability to break the lines, you're not going to get better than Colwill. His ability in build-up to break the lines under pressure, his passing, and the thing about him is he can get the ball and he can release it quick. He can get the ball, release it quick. He can take like 2 lines out of the defence with his passing. His ability to receive the ball pass, receive the ball at any angle. I think he's quite two-footed in my opinion. Obviously a left footer. But I think he really helps in Chelsea's build-up and the dynamics. And I think Maresca sort of trusting him sometimes in that central centre-back position, being the main guy in build-up. And I think everything about Levi Colwill on the ball has been phenomenal. The questions I think around Levi Colwill have been defensive awareness and off the ball. And I think he's only 21 years of age, so he's going to improve at that. And I think he is improving. I think his box defending, his defensive reading and positioning have improved this season. I think his all-round anticipation and reading of the game looks good. And I think Chelsea have been struggling in Thiago Silva's absence a little bit defensively. You had Rudiger, you had Thiago Silva, you had this really solid defence under Thomas Tuchel, and obviously you've had to sort of rebuild that. And I can see Levi Colwill being this sort of Thiago Silva. Now, Tosin has been good. Who else? Fofana has been all right at times, but I do think, a powerhouse right centre-back that's, physical, off the ball monster, but also good on the ball to partner Levi Colwill was maybe something that Chelsea will want to look at, maybe a Diamonde type player, Van Dijk type player. I think Lenny Yoro would have been, if he reaches his potential, could be the profile that Chelsea would want going forward. But I don't think that Fofana's been bad. I don't think Tosin's been bad. I think they've had a few good games together, and I think that pairing can definitely work and do a job. But I think if we're looking at where Chelsea may want to invest in the summer, I think it probably is that partner for Levi Colwill. But I think Levi Colwill has been absolutely fantastic this season, deserved in the England squad. And I mean, look at that. That was a absolutely phenomenal clearance. A lot of players couldn't do that. The way he could get his body on the line, his flexibility, his anticipation, his movement. He's very good off the ball. And I think people are starting to notice actually, Levi Colwill is good. These are his statistics compared to Gabriel. Now, I'm going to be honest, I think it's silly comparing defender statistics because I think a defender statistic is completely influenced by the system they play in. Man United defenders have had to make more tackles than Chelsea defenders this season, than Arsenal defenders this season. Man United centre-backs will have more tackles, more blocks and more interceptions than any of Liverpool's centre-backs, than any of Arsenal's centre-backs. But Arsenal and Liverpool have the two best defensive records in the league. That is because Man United's midfield is set up so badly that Man United's defence has so much work to do. So that's why Man United's defence is higher than Liverpool and Arsenal's defence on all these metrics. Doesn't mean it's better. So I think you have to always take that into account. But when you look at sort of statistics here, in terms of carrying passes, forward passes, progressive passes, you can see Levi Colwill, the influence he has, and those statistics are very good. But of course, Maresca plays a higher line and a more advanced system defensively than Arsenal, who are a little bit, I wouldn't say Arsenal part of the bus, but they are more defensively sound. And, that's why they have such a good record, whereas I think Chelsea definitely have room to improve defensively. Now, talking of improvement, Moises Caicedo. Now, I think Moises Caicedo has been a little bit of a hidden gem at Chelsea because I think he didn't start the best. And I think because he was 100 million signing, there was a lot of expectations on him. And I don't think he's 100 million signing, but I don't think he's a bad signing because I think since January, maybe even December, he's been very good for Chelsea and consistently good. I think Chelsea turned a corner in December time. I actually think your form in 2024 puts you third in the Premier League as well. I think you turned a corner in sort of your last few months under Poch. Around Christmas time, I thought Chelsea started to look better. And I thought Moises Caicedo was a big part of that. I think that he's been good and consistent for Chelsea since January. I think it's gone under the radar. I remember back in February, March, people called Moises Caicedo flop of the season. Yes, he's not worth 100 million, but he was never a flop. He had it took him a little bit of time to settle in. And there's definitely question marks around if him and Enzo can play together because individually they're both really talented players. And I felt at times he looked better with Gallagher in the pivot. I felt at times when Cucurella was inverting, it was really helping him. But there's no doubt in my mind, Moises Caicedo is a good player and he's been good this season. He was good the back end of last season for Chelsea. And I think if anyone calls him a flop, they've not watched him play. I mean, this is a monstrous performance he put in last night versus Uruguay. 11 duels won, 10 possessions won, 4 fouls won, 3 tackles, 2 chances created. I mean, off the ball, his duel-winning ability has been absolutely monstrous. His ability to cover ground, win duels off the ball has been absolutely monstrous. It reminds me of Kante in that sense, but also we know with Moises Caicedo, he's very good on the ball, very good at breaking the lines, very good in build-up as well. And what I wrote about Caicedo is that I think he's been really good in terms of his tackling and winning duels, and I think in the Copa America qualifiers, he's been the best midfielder in South America by a significant margin, based off what I've heard from a guy that is Colombian, that watches a lot of South American football, so he has no bias towards, of course, Caicedo. He said, when he's on international duty, he's deployed more as an all-action number 8, and he's trusted as more of the primary ball carrier, and his ball-winning abilities shine there because he wins the ball higher up the pitch and he can do more with it, essentially. He's got a bit more freedom. And I do think that Moises Caicedo and Enzo aren't actually number 6s. They do excel best in that 8 role, but I think Caicedo's been doing a very good job in the 6 role lately as well. Caicedo can perform as a 6, can perform as an 8, and I think he's just been doing it for Chelsea consistently now. I think off the ball, what he does covering the ground, the defensive shift he puts in, I think he's gone under the radar, and I also think Enzo Fernandez is a very good player. I think he's got a really good and unique skill set, but the big question around Enzo Fernandez has been, can Maresca find Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo in the same system and make it work? Because I think individually there's talent there, and I think Caicedo is showing that a bit more than Enzo, but I also watch Enzo and I think, oh, he's good at this, he's good at that. I think it's just finding the best is what Maresca's got to do. And of course, Cole Palmer, Chelsea's best player. I mean, this guy's been unbelievable since he joined Chelsea. And I think there was always a question of, could it be a one-season wonder? Could he be someone that is good on the pitch? Will Maresca get the best of him? Maresca want him to operate more centrally. I mean, look, he's been phenomenal. I mean, look, a perfect score for 4 goals versus Brighton. I mean, he's been absolutely phenomenal. I did a video on Cole Palmer, so if you want to hear me talk about Cole Palmer for 10 minutes, watch the video. I don't know what it's called, like Maresca's plan for Cole Palmer or something. I don't know. But then it doesn't stop there. Like Chelsea, you know, everyone criticizes them for buying young talent, this young talent, another kid at Chelsea. You know, what are Chelsea doing? But no, Estevao's a different level. Like Paez, I've heard good things about, and Salimo, I knew a bit about. A couple of other youngsters I've never heard of that they signed. They are signing a lot of youngsters, and I think you need them all. But Estevao's a different level. Estevao is a different level. This is him compared to Madueke stats-wise. Now, of course, Madueke is playing in the Premier League, so it's a lot harder for him. But you can just see what an all-round player he is, Estevao, when it comes to passing, assists, goals, dribbles. He can dribble, he can pass, he can carry. I think Madueke is a very good player, but he's someone that is more of a dribbler that likes to cut in and shoot. If you look at his creative play, it isn't as good as a Sancho's. It isn't as good as Neto. Whereas Estevao's got the goal scoring and the creative play. You know, 8 goals, 7 assists. 8 big chances created, 25 key passes, 52 successful take-ons. He's almost got elements of every Chelsea winger, and he's been phenomenal. This was his stats as of September. It's only gone up since then. So I look at Chelsea and I think, well, they're playing good under Maresca. They've got these young players coming through, so they're only going to get better. And I feel like this is why I'm worried, because I feel Chelsea have got a really good squad. Palmer and Cuckoo, Sancho, Madueke, Jackson, Felix, Gui, and Mudryk, Neto. The only player that I've got a few question marks around is Mudryk. Personally, myself, don't rate him. Gui, however you say his name, is obviously just a young player that's going to come through. But Palmer's obviously brilliant, and Cuckoo is clinical. I think Jackson is someone where his all-round play is so good. His all-round play is so good that I feel like he improves the Chelsea players around him, he improves Chelsea. But I think finishing, he can be wasteful, but his all-round play is so good. Whereas in Cuckoo's all-round play is all right, but he doesn't get as involved as Jackson. But then Cuckoo's got the finish. So I think you've got a good balance there in Cuckoo and Jackson. I think João Felix is a talented player. Neto's a very talented player. I think that Neto on the right and Sancho on the left could work well with Cole Palmer. Neto's a very creative player as well. So if you did have him Cuckoo in the box, I think he'd provide the service. Madueke, he scored his hat-trick. He's a good player. And if Sancho can be the Dortmund Sancho, well, we know there's a good player there. So in general, like looking at Chelsea, I think their project is good. I think this is only the start. I don't think it's like a new manager bounce. I think Maresca is building something. He's making something special. And I do think that Chelsea are on the right track despite all that has happened. Let me know your thoughts down below. Please do hit that like button. Of course, subscribe if you're new. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Bye.